Say hello, YouTube. Are you gonna stay? Okay, goodbye. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And Dobby, welcome back to the beanbag. There you go, that works. So in today's video, I'm gonna talk through 5 things that happen in your 20s that no one prepared you for. Or maybe you all were super prepared entering your 20s, or you are about to enter your 20s and you are already well equipped to be successful and you don't need these tips. But I certainly wish someone had given me a heads up about some things that go down in this period of your life. And I have definitely learned a lot of hard lessons in my 20s. I have grown up significantly, and I think that's just natural, right? We go through life and we go through different seasons and things are a little bit more difficult as we get older, and that's just natural. So I'm gonna just talk through some of the ways that I learned to deal with some challenges that just come in your 20s. So hopefully this is helpful for you, or just another fun video to watch. Thanks for supporting. So first on my list is that life is more expensive than you think. And maybe you were like me and you were financially independent, you know, from when you started college, really. I mean, my parents totally helped me out, but I loved always having jobs, being financially independent, and I thought I had it all figured out. However, you turn 20 and things just start to change. I mean, life just becomes more expensive. You graduate college or you just begin your trade, whatever it is, and finances are important. You have to budget yourself. You have to understand your goals and know where you want to be in 5 years and make changes in your life to reach those goals. Okay. And so you have to just work towards different goals that you set for yourself. And so my advice to you, if you are struggling with this and going through a period of life where you are just feeling like you're never gonna reach your goals, you're not gonna be able to live the life that you want, things are expensive, how are you gonna save? I have debt, I have car payments, insurance. When you turn 26, health insurance is all you. Or maybe it was all you before that. I was fortunate enough to be on my parents till I was 26, and then I got kicked off this year. And so my advice is to set goals for yourself, make small changes in your day-to-day. I have a whole video on how I make small changes in my day-to-day life to help save, and I'll link it up here if you want to check it out. But try to just not let finances overwhelm you. There's people doing work on our roof right now. We had a leak yesterday, so I apologize if you can hear them, but I really want to make this video. Oh, there they are again. So understand your finances, keep track of them. I don't think you need to budget yourself to every cent that you spend. You need to live. You can only live once, and you need to enjoy things and make splurges and treat yourself to a dinner out and little things that allow you to feel that financial freedom. But then, of course, have your goals and work to meet them. That hits hard in your 20s. I think that you're kind of just going with the flow before then. At least I was. And then I realized that I have certain places I see myself being in a few years, and I love to travel and I love to splurge on nice things, but you need to figure out ways to make that a goal that is achievable but still not going to put you into debt. And so I just think life gets really expensive in your 20s, and I always talk to my friends about this. Growing up, we didn't learn about budgeting ourselves, about finances in our academics in elementary school, middle school, high school. You don't get taught how to figure out goals for yourself and saving money, and we're taught about history and about science, which is very important, but I feel like I don't remember anything that I learned in my high school psychology class. What I would have remembered is how to save money to buy a car, or how to budget myself and live a life that is you know, enjoyable and not stressful because I'm constantly thinking about money. So that all being said, enjoy your life and set goals for yourself and find manageable ways to reach them, and you'll be good to go in your 20s. All right, so next on the list is that there are a lot of weddings in your 20s, and with weddings brings bachelorette parties and bridal showers and more expenses, and they're so worth it because this is such an exciting time in your life, your friends' lives, your family's lives, people that are just getting hitched, but it happens really freaking fast, and all of a sudden everyone is just getting married, or you're not getting married and you're living your best life in your 20s, and I think that's awesome too. And I think it can be challenging if you aren't getting married and maybe some of your friends are, so my biggest advice there is don't rush it or feel pressure. If anything, you're gonna be the shining star in a few years when all your friends are already married and you get to be the one that has the kick-ass party, and all of us are just like, heck yes, can't wait to come celebrate you. So anyways, weddings happen in your 20s and they happen fast. It's like a season of your life where you're just going to weddings every other freaking weekend. Not right now, mid 2020 with COVID, but regardless, it happens. And so my advice is to not let the expensive part of weddings stress you out. A great piece of advice that my manager actually gave me at work, and she realized that I was just going to a lot of batches and I had a lot of like things going on in my life around weddings, and she was just like, you know, she has kids, and she was just like, enjoy it. Like, stop worrying about the money or the traveling or whatever it is. Enjoy it, because this is the only time you're gonna have constant get-togethers with your girlfriends that are easy. You don't have kids, you don't have to worry about leaving your husband, blah blah blah. Like, just enjoy it. And it just put into perspective for me that yeah, it's stressful when you have a lot of big expenses for these trips or weddings or whatever, but let yourself just live it up. And it is a chapter of your life that doesn't happen again really in this quantity where there's so many weddings and batches and bridal showers and whatever happening at one time. So don't complain about it and just really enjoy it. There's so much to celebrate with weddings that I think that also that falls into the shadow sometimes when people are just stressed out, and just live it up and enjoy the weddings and enjoy this period of your life where you can just celebrate love and the beginnings of so many new chapters for yourself and your friends. And it's definitely something that becomes a big part of your 20s, and it's something to be so excited and happy about. So just a piece of advice, just be aware that this chapter of your life is coming if you're entering your 20s or if you're in it. Just continue to enjoy it. I know I needed the reminder. Live it up. Weddings are something to be so excited about. So just focus on, you know, the beauty of weddings. Next up is the milestone deficit. And so I coined this term. Maybe it is a term, but as I was trying to think about, you know, what happened in my 20s that no one prepared me for, this came across my mind, and let me explain. So we go through our lives, right, where every few years we graduate, whether it's elementary school, middle school, high school, college. You have graduations and these big milestones that you're celebrating, and people are, you know, congratulating you. And then, you know, you get your first job and it's like, oh, I reached another milestone, and you passed exams, or you passed, you know, any type of certification that you needed to start your trade or your job or whatever it is. People are celebrating you, and you've reached these big goals that are kind of set out for you based on the career paths you've chosen, and it's just kind of the next step. And so you get to a point in your 20s where there's no big milestones anymore. And I remember after like my first year in my role, I was just at a place where I was like, okay, I want to have something to celebrate. Well, what can I do? And you get to a point where you have to make your own decision and start to pave your own path and create your own next big milestone to reach or goal to reach. And so I think that everybody in their 20s gets to a point where they're like, whoa, everything's kind of been laid out for me. What do I do now? And the answer is you get to choose your path. You get to decide what's next. And I think that's pretty cool. And if anything, you can kind of start to tell yourself, like, I don't know where I'm going next, but I might surprise myself and reach a goal I never even thought I'd set out. And I think that's exciting, but it is scary. I remember the point in my life in my early 20s where I was just like, whoa, what is next for me? Is no one ever gonna congratulate me on anything fun again? And of course you get married if that's your choice, and you have kids, and that's so exciting. And there's so many milestones with children that you get to look forward to, but just be prepared that there's gonna come a point where you're gonna have to set out your next big goal and reach it, and just continue to be creative and find outlets for yourself. If you're someone that, you know, doesn't feel super fulfilled in your day-to-day job, find something else that's gonna fulfill you and help set more mini milestones. And I don't know, I just think never get too comfortable where you're not setting goals for yourself that are gonna feel so good when you reach them, because I think in your 20s you can get to a point where you're just kind of coasting, and that's cool too if you're super fulfilled and you love what you're doing every day and in your personal life and you're good. But if not, challenge yourself and go outside of your comfort zone and set new goals and reach new milestones. So just some advice there. So next on the list is a little bit sad and a little bit of something that I wish, again, someone had talked to me about before I hit my 20s and I graduated college, and it is distanced friendships. You become busy in your life. You get a job, you have a partner, you have family you need to keep up with, and I just think you end up finding your core group of people that you're choosing to spend your time with most often. And I think just know that that's okay. And also we have social media, so the people that I have become distant from, I love keeping up with them on social media. I get to see what they're doing all the time, congratulate them on their big milestones that come up, and it's awesome. And you never have to cut ties with people that had a big part of your life in the past. And if you ever find a space where you can meet up with them and hang out and catch up, that's incredible. But don't beat yourself up over distance friendships, and don't put so much energy into friendships that are just not meant to be your everyday best friends. I just think, I wish someone told me that, because I really struggled with it for a while. And you just go through so many seasons of life where you have friends that are so important and necessary for different chapters of your life that it's okay if you can't find a space for them, you know, in the future, just based on whatever you're going through in life or whatever it is that you have that's fulfilling you right now. It's okay to not need to put so much energy into people that you can just keep ties with on social media. So basically my message to you is just don't beat yourself up over friendships that are just not existing in your life anymore, and it's okay. And congratulate those friends on all the great things that they're doing in their life, and never cut ties with people. People are meant to be in your life at certain times for certain reasons, and if they come back into your life later, awesome. Always keep that door open, but focus your energy on what's important to you right now and kind of evaluate that and just do what's best for you. As long as you're not hurting someone else, it's so important to really find yourself in your 20s, and the people you surround yourself with are just meant to uplift you and not meant to, you know, feel exhausting when you're just trying to make something work that's just not working anymore. And so that's just a piece of advice for you, and do what's best for you, and always give love to other people, and you'll find yourself in a good place always. All right, and number 5 on the list. Number 5 is self-discovery. I think if nothing else, I didn't realize how much I was going to discover who I am in my 20s. I think that you are still growing and developing and experiencing life before your 20s, and even in your early 20s, that you don't have time to really evaluate who you are, what you want, what you are meant to do. And even in your 20s, you might not figure that out. I'm still trying to navigate where I want my life and my career and my personal goals or whatever. I'm trying to still figure all of that out, but it's happening. And I am discovering what makes me happy, what fulfills me, what kind of life I want to live, what I want to put out into the world. And so that all happens in your 20s, and it just happened to me, and I wasn't expecting it. I think I was just kind of going through the motions for a while, and then I just realized, hey, this is who I am. And I learned that through some really difficult parts of my life. And that all being said, let that happen. Let life's challenges and experiences shape you into who you're supposed to be. I just think that everything happens for a no. I actually don't think everything happens for a reason. So I'm going to kind of take that back. I think that you can always learn something from everything that happens to you. I hate when people say to me, everything happens for a reason, especially when it's something really hard that you go through. I don't think that it happened for a reason. I think that it was just a really crappy situation and hand you were dealt. But I think you can always learn from everything that happens to you. I truly believe that you can always learn from experiences in life. And in your 20s, you're gonna learn some things the hard way. You're gonna have so many amazing things happen to you too. And I think that you're gonna figure out who you are, or at least you're gonna figure out who you wanna be. And so, I don't know, I just think that it's so important to be open to experiences that are going to happen to you that are out of your control and that can really steer you in a direction that you're going to be really happy with, and that you're going to not be thrilled with some things that happen to you. I'm sure that's just life, but take every experience with a grain of salt and find the good and find your direction. That happened to me in my 20s and it's still happening to me. I have no idea where I'm going to be in my 30s, but I think I'm discovering that there are certain things I'm not going to settle for, and there are certain things that I want to do with my life. There's goals that I'm creating that are going to help me to be someone I'm going to be really proud of one day, and I'm on that path, and I'm not there, but you end up finding your way in your 20s. And I hope that you all do find some sort of direction or clarity in your 20s, because I think before your 20s you just don't know. I know that I'm kind of all over the place with this video, but your 20s are all over the place, and that's the beauty of it. So I hope that these 5 things that I wish someone told me in my 20s, or that were gonna happen in my 20s, are helpful to you, and I hope that you find your way. There's no right answer to any decision you're gonna make, and there's no right destination to who you're gonna become or to what you're gonna do with your life. You're gonna just figure it out as you go, and that's totally okay. So thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.